So there's a quote here. So it's Maya Angelou. So she believes that success is about enjoying your work. So this is kind of about fulfillment. So she says success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. So why does that quote resonate with you? I think that's a great quote.
I'll tell you because I was fascinated to learn what is happiness for people. And for everyone, it's a different definition. For everyone, it's so unique. And I think I had more than 100 quotes like this, but I only chose 4 or 5 to share in the book from different positions in life. Some coming from the corporate world, some coming from the sports. So everyone is so different. I like this one because I can identify, because we all work to make money. We all do things. I'm not an athlete. I cannot speak to an athlete happiness, but I think I can identify with it in my own journey.
So I just mentioned that your book is just filled with quotes. It's filled with research and studies. Did are you someone that just you're kind of compiling quotes as you go? As you see a great quote, you write it down, you kind of have a stash of quotes, and then you're able to pick from them to put in the book, or did you research different quotes on different topics? And the last thing I'll say is another author. So while I was reading this, when I was seeing all the quotes, it reminded me of another best-selling author that loves to have a ton of quotes. That's John C. Maxwell. And you actually have
Leaders
some
as
John
greatest.
C.
It is.
Maxwell quotes in your book, which is like a meta, like a meta kind of moment. So tell me about the quotes. Where do they all come from for you?
Like you say, I love quotes because it creates the combination of thought and emotion. And
Mm.
because I love it, I tend to put it in writing for myself. You will not believe, but I have a WhatsApp a communication with myself. I have 2 numbers, and I send to myself the quotes that I love. It's all full with quotes, and I send to myself this quote. So I go to this WhatsApp and I search, and I can go page by page by page by page with all my favorite quotes. I love it. Um, it makes me happy. Good quotes make me happy.
I do the exact same thing
Really.
on Messenger.
Wow.
What's funny is I tried to do what you did, but because I only have one number, it won't let me message myself. But on Messenger, you can message yourself. So we have the same thing going on where we're communicating with ourselves. There's another great quote. It says, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast," which is Peter Drucker.
Oh,
Why do you think culture is so important? I started a business 4.5 years ago, and my mentor from day one always said everything is about culture and one more thing. Anyways, but he talked about culture and leadership, which you would agree with. So I didn't understand. I thought, no, this is about sales. This is about success. And the more you dive deep into business, you realize that culture is everything. The biggest companies in the world, the Apples, the Virgins, the Teslas, they're known for having culture where their employees would take a bullet for the company, which you don't get, elsewhere. So why culture? Why is that a very important thing?
Joel, I want you to imagine for yourself a very serious shareholders meeting during the 2008-2009 crisis. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were sitting in a boardroom, close to 15 people. Every one of the shareholders and the directors that were there coming from an inspiring background. And they were discussing strategies of how to get out of the situation that the company was in. And I can tell you the morning, noon, afternoon was full with presentations, PowerPoints, graphs, charts. Everything was all over there. I think at around 4 p.m., I literally couldn't sit another moment on my chair. I stood up, and I asked to take the permission to speak. And I shared with them the same quote that I shared in the book. And this was a revolutionary moment for these shareholders. Why? Because you can put any strategy that you want. You can put any sales technique that you want for any organizations. But the first discussion when you are in a crisis should be, what is our culture? What is the foundation that you can build the structure above it? And because everyone was focusing on the fourth floor or the fifth floor of the structure, there was no foundation. Culture is the foundation for every planning. And I can tell you the feeling that you have while you work, the feeling that you have as you do the thing that you put for yourself to do, this creates the environment to grow and the environment to succeed. This is why culture is something that we cannot undermine. And because a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners focusing on strategies, I put this quote as a wake-up call. Let's discuss the culture. And again, to remind you, I told you, for a human being, the culture is the being for the company, for any business. It's the same analogy. It's always about who we are in the process as individuals or a business.